this ongoing situation with Diddy is really disturbing. And I know he is a very wealthy man, and we have seen many very wealthy men just get away with the most heinous of things. And they can just throw money at things, and situations just mysteriously disappear. Once somebody who was very vocal about what had happened to them and telling their story just mysteriously no longer is speaking. And with Diddy, it's been situation after situation and rumors and whispers for years of his behaviors behind the scenes. And as we know, most recently, Cassie had a lawsuit against Diddy, and he settled it within like a day, on the weekend, over a weekend, not even waiting for business hours on Monday morning, with her claims of him SAing her and other nefarious acts. And now there is another lawsuit because Sean Diddy Combs is being accused of SH and SA by producer Rodney Little Rod Jones on his latest album that Diddy put out. Now, when I looked up Diddy's latest album, it was last year. I had no clue. I don't listen to Diddy like that. But he did an album last year, 2023, called The Love Album, Off Grid. And Rodney worked on this with him and says that his life has been detrimentally impacted since he has worked with Combs, and is accusing him of SH and SA. This article is via the NBC News. It was posted like 44 minutes ago. It says here that Sean Diddy Combs was sued Monday in federal court by a producer on his most recent album, who accuses the music mogul of SA drugging and threatening him over more than a year. The producer Rodney Little Rod Jones says in the lawsuit he lived and traveled with Combs from September 2022 to November 2023. So he was in the thick of it. Living with Diddy? That sounds... oh, hell no. During this time, he recorded hours of videos and audio of Combs, his staff, and others engaging in serious illegal activity. So yet again, another person who has audio, who has tapes, who has evidence. Like, for Diddy to be so rich and to be this musical mogul and genius, he's not very smart when it comes to his shit, because like I feel like a lot of people have evidence on his ass, and a lot of people have spoken about his ways. And that's how like unabashed and like brazen he is with it, I guess, that he doesn't feel the need to conceal it like on that level when he's around people he thinks aren't going to say anything, because maybe he feels he has that much control over them. So Little Rod has hours of video and audio of Combs and his staff engaging in serious illegal activity. Among the allegations is that Combs has forced Jones to procure sex workers and pressured him to engage in unwelcome sex acts with them and others. That sounds very familiar to what Cassie has also claimed, where he would make her find different men, find them, and then do acts with them in front of him. That sounds so familiar. And that Combs gave laced alcoholic beverages to people who attended parties at his home. That also sounds very familiar. And I know, like, I don't understand how his parties are so packed, because like by now I know that the whispers had got around, but I guess people are more curious. Like, oh, it's a Diddy party, let me go, even though they've heard the stories, or they've heard the whispers of what happens at Diddy's parties in these rooms when you're exploring a little bit too far and you happen upon something you wish that you wouldn't have seen. The lawsuit includes what it says are screenshots from gatherings hosted at Combs' home that include underage girls and sex workers, some of whom he said were provided drinks. that had been laced with drugs. So he has underage girls there, and he is drugging them. Wow. Wow. The suit is filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. Also names Combs' adult son, Justin. Oh, wow. I don't know what that's about. Damn. So it names his son, his adult son, Justin, his chief of staff, Motown Records, Love Records, Universal Music Group. Jones says in the lawsuit that Grange Habermarin, Motown Records, Love Records, and Universal Music Group effectively worked together with Combs in a RICO enterprise that failed to adequately monitor, warn, or supervise the actions of Combs, his son, and his chief of staff. A RICO enterprise is any individual groups that act together to violate the Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act. Due to all of this, Jones is seeking $30 million. Damn. Representatives for Justin Combs, Motown Records, and Love Records did not immediately respond to requests for comment. An attorney for Combs said Jones' reckless name-dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. So of course, Diddy's like, oh, that never happened, that never happened, that never happened, and then secretly, like a day or two later, he's like shelling out all this money to keep them quiet. We have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Well, this guy is saying that he has audio, video, hours, I mean, it could be easily refuted who's lying. So Diddy's team is saying we have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones' attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. The attorney, Sean Hawley, says in statement, we will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. This suit is the latest in a series of damning allegations against Combs. Wow. He's saying that the SA includes constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his nether regions. Oh my gosh. Jones says he was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs showered naked in a glass enclosure. Why is it that like all of these like even with Cassie, like the stuff that she was retelling are just things that are just like so above board that I'm like, what is going on in this man's head to think that like you really think that shit's okay and nobody's gonna say anything about it? Like you're that warped and you've been rich that long that like you're just not on the same plane of reality as the rest of us are, that you think that's okay. So Jones says he was forced to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs showered naked in a glass enclosure, apparently, according to this lawsuit. When he raised concerns about the behavior to Combs' chief of staff, the lawsuit says she dismissed them as friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. What the F? That's some rich people shit. The lawsuit accuses the chief of staff of aiding and abetting Combs' SA assault on Jones and of working with Combs to groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship with him. Those are also rumors that have been out for years about Diddy. Jones also alleges he was forced to solicit S-workers and perform sexual acts with them to please Combs. To aid in alleged recruitment, Jones said that Combs provided him with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to a Miami establishment as a signal to any S-worker to be approached that Combs was in town and had sent Jones to recruit them. Oh my gosh. Like, this is shit that, like, wow. Like, you only know about this stuff if you live the life, if you in that industry, if you in all those things. Like, it just seems like a dark world to be in. Jones alleges Combs, who he has described in the suit to be forceful and demanding, and someone who does not take no for an answer, leveraged his power as one of the most influential people in hip-hop and business to intimidate him. Because he is a producer, Little Rod, like, he, I guess, felt he would be blacklisted because you're working with Diddy and he's one of the most influential people in hip-hop. You go against him, it's a fucking rap. So he felt intimidated, I'm guessing. Included by threatening to inflict bodily harm if Jones did not comply with his demand. Wow. On one occasion, Jones alleges Combs forced him to watch as he displayed guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people. Oof. In a separate incident, Jones alleges Combs shared that he was responsible for a shooting in a nightclub in New York in 1999 with the rapper Shine-born Jamal Barrow. A jury acquitted Combs of gun possession and bribery charges in connection with that incident, while Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in jail. Jones was terrified of Combs and felt he could not tell him no, according to the suit. Mr. Combs consistently made it clear he has immense power in the music industry and with law enforcement. I feel like that's similar to what we heard with Cassie. Like, he would always threaten her with her career. And she really only got that one song that was a hit. So maybe if she had more chances and, wasn't beholden to him and trapped by him, she would have had even more hits. But, like, he held that over her head. This lawsuit says that Combs required Jones to record him constantly, and that on several occasions, Combs took Jones's cell phone to record himself. As a result, Jones alleges he has hundreds of hours of video and audio records of Combs. Also sounds similar to Cassie's claims. So he has video recordings of Combs, his staff, and his guests. Jones is saying, he has a date here, Jones is saying that in the suit he believes Combs also drugged him on February 2nd, 2003, so basically a little over a year ago. He alleges he woke up naked, dizzy, and confused in bed with Combs and 2 sex workers. I fucking could not eat. In response to requests for comment, Jones' attorney Tyrone Blackburn used a Latin phrase, res espasa lequatur, which loosely translates as the things speak for itself, referring to the lawsuit. I probably butchered that, but I didn't think I'd be speaking Latin today. Sorry. Jones says in the lawsuit that he was under an implied work-for-hire agreement and was not compensated for the songs he produced on the Love album. As a result, the lawsuit says Combs' Love Records, Motown Records, and Universal Music Group were all unjustly enriched at his expense. Combs has been sued by 4 women who have accused him of S.A. Cassie, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, said Combs physically aid her and forced her to have sex with male prostitutes. So it's kind of just going through his other court cases and lawsuits. This is just so fucking sick. All of those cases, besides the one with Cassie, are still pending. In a statement in December, he denied the allegations, saying enough is enough and calling the claims against him sickening. They are sickening. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and my truth, he said in a statement. But you surely paid Cassie on a Saturday. You surely paid Cassie on a Saturday. And yes, the other lawsuits are pending, and yes, this is another one. But I don't think all these people are lying on Diddy. And of course, he's saying this, these allegations are completely untrue. I just don't, it's just, they can't all be saying the same thing about you, Diddy, and all the stuff that people in the industry have been saying about you for years. They're not all lying. Ugh. So I'm sorry to Little Rod. Rodney, that he had to go through that. And I'm of the mind of believing victims. I know we live in a world where people like to question victims all day long and, pick apart stories and this, that, and the other. I just don't want to do that. It's just crazy that that he's been able to continuously do these things for years, and it's just now like coming to a head. So that's what's going on with Diddy, you guys. It's always something. And Diddy, all these lawsuits, at some point, that bag is going to feel real light, okay? Real light, and it's going to be hard to replace what was once in it, with everybody knowing all this shit, for real, for real. So that's it for me, guys. I will see you in another video.